हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज मैं आपके लिए लाया हूँ बाइनोमियल थ्योरम पार्ट 4 ऑफ आवर बाइनोमियल थ्योरम सीरीज। सो अगर अभी तक आपने पार्ट 1, पार्ट 2 और पार्ट 3 नहीं देखा है तो हमारे प्लेलिस्ट से जाके आप उसको पहले देख लीजिए, बिकॉज टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू सॉल्व एंड फर्दर develop our understanding, and in that we will be using the knowledge that we have gained in part 1, 2 and 3. So आइए देखते हैं कि पार्ट 4 में हम लोग क्या डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. So suppose if here today I am going to discuss with you that suppose if we have to find out, we are given x plus y to the power n, right? और हमें बोला गया है कि इसमें x to the power r का फैक्टर क्या होगा, और कोएफिशिएंट क्या होगा, सॉरी नॉट फैक्टर, कोएफिशिएंट क्या होगा x टू द पावर r का. सो x प्लस वाई टू द पावर n एक्सप्रेशन में x टू द पावर r का कोएफिशिएंट क्या है. So now, as you already know, if you have watched 1, 2 and 3 part, that basically how we form the x to the power r. This is by collecting x from r factors. So here, if suppose if we are given x plus y multiplication of n number of times, this is n times, so that's the meaning of x plus y to the power n. And now what we are doing is, in order to form x to the power r, we are going to collect x from r factors. From r factors we are collecting x, right? And that will give me x to the power r, right? So each time you go and do it, like if each time you go and collect r factors, x from r factors, you will be leaving the n minus r factors, right? You are leaving n minus r factors, and therefore the y must be picked up from all those n minus r factors. So y is to be multiplied n minus r times, which means it should give you y to the power n minus r. That is, the another term has to be picked up from the remaining factors, which is the n minus r factors. So therefore, if it is x to the power r, which means you are picking x from r factors, the remaining n minus r factors, from the remaining n minus r factors, you should be picking y, which will give you y to the power n minus r. Now, how many ways of doing this is possible? So if I have to pick x from r factors, right? If I have to pick x from r factors and there are n factors given, so it is basically like out of n factors, I have to take r factors at a time, and that we know can be done in NCR ways, which is nothing but n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. I think this is a video on permutations and combinations where we can learn about this combinatorics, and we will know what is this means. But just for a refreshment, I have put here the that what does the NCR means, and this is the number of ways by which we can pick r things out of n things. So here also we are doing the same, right? We have n factors given and we are picking up x from r factors. So that means it can be done in NCR ways. So therefore, it will be also multiplied, and in each of these ways you are going to get y to the power n minus r, because you are going to pick up y from the remaining n minus r factors. So you are going to get y to the power n minus r, and then it has to be multiplied with NCR, because that many ways are there to collect it, right? So therefore, the coefficient of x to the power r in x plus y to the power n is nothing but NCR y to the power n minus r. So therefore, now I can write it, x plus y to the power n can be written as x to the power n, and we know that the highest power has a coefficient of 1, because there is just one way of doing it. You have to pick x from all the n factors, right? So there is just one way of doing it, and there is no involvement of y in this, so it will be just, the coefficient will be just 1. So x to the power n plus, with x to the power n minus 1, I should start getting y to the power 1, and nc n minus 1 should be my number of ways of doing it, plus there will be nc n minus 2 x to the power n minus 2 y square. So you see that every time the power of x is diminishing by 1, and now I am so basically I am picking x from lesser number of factors, and therefore I have to pick y from more number of factors. So the power of y is increasing. As you can see here, it is going from uh, uh, it's going from y to the power 1 to y to the power 2, and here it was basically y to the power 0. So then it has become 1, and then it has become 2. Same way you see that x to the power n is, I am reducing the factors now, so it is going to n minus 1, and from here it's going to n minus 2. So this thing is going to continue till the point I reach up to x to the power uh, 1, and y to the power in that case will become n minus 1, and that will happen in nc 1 ways. And then the last term would be x to the power 0, which means it will become basically x to the power 0, which is nothing but 1 multiplied by y to the power n. So therefore this will happen in nc0 ways, right? So basically here, and you can also now write the first one, x to the power n, as ncn, because ncn is nothing but 1. So there ncn is nothing but 1, right? So therefore we can put it as ncn. So if you see, this is the uh, overall terms that you are going to get for x plus y to the power n. So therefore I can write it as x plus y to the power n is equal to summation of ncr x to the power r y to the power n minus r, where r varies from n, and r varies from 0 to n. So overall, the major important thing to understand is in this is like how each of these terms are actually found out, and uska matlab kya hai actually. So for example, if suppose I pick up any term in this, it will be ncr x to the power r y to the power n minus r. What is the meaning of this term? It means that if suppose I am going to pick r x's from r factors, basically if I am going to pick collect x from r factors, it's going to give me x to the power r, and therefore I will be left with n minus r factors, from where I will have to collect y, which will yield y to the power n minus r, right? So this r plus n minus r, you can see we are covering all the factors. If you do r plus n minus r, it is going to give you n, which means the total of n factors, x is being collected out of from the r factors, and y is getting collected from n minus r factors to basically form x to the power r term. And now how many ways you can do it is something which is given by ncr, right? Because if suppose there are n factors and you are picking up r factors, there are ncr ways of doing it. So this is an important thing to understand, like how this particular term or a particular term in a binomial expansion is getting actually formed. And then obviously, since you have to cover it from all the terms, you have to add up all the terms, you are basically using the summation from r is equal to 0 to n ncr x to the power r y to the power n minus r. Now let's talk about what happens if one time I am taking, let's say, x plus y to the power n, and another time I am taking x minus y to the power n, how their expansion will look like. तो इसका अगर हम expand करते हैं binomial theorem से, so the term you know will, the first term will be nothing but n c n x to the power n, then it will become plus n c n minus 1 x to the power n minus 1 y to the power 1, right? And so on, it will keep on continuing, right? Finally we will get nc 0 x to the power 0 into y to the power n. That is the last term that we are going to get. Now if we had y as minus of y, as in this expression, x minus y to the power n, then what will happen is, we are first term ncn x to the power n will be remaining. Then the second term, since it has a power of y of the power of y is 1, so it will become basically minus y to the power 1. So it will become plus ncn minus 1 x to the power n minus 1 into minus y to the power 1. Same way, if I would take the another term, it would be ncn minus 2, the next term ncn minus 2 x to the power n minus 2 minus y to the power 2, and so on it will continue till we arrive at plus nc0 x to the power 0 y to the power n. Here it will be minus y to the power n. So now you can see here that wherever the powers of y becomes a odd number, right, wherever the powers of y is equal to odd, in all those cases you will get a negative sign. You will get a negative sign, right? So therefore, between these two, the major difference is that every alternating term in x minus y to the power n is going to be negative, right? So you have a negative in this as a second term because this term is going to become negative, so this will be replaced with minus. Again you would observe that minus y to the power 2 is not going to be negative, it will remain as positive. Then again the next term which will have minus y to the power 3, it will again become negative. So there will be alternating plus and minus terms, whereas in the first case you are having all the terms as positive, all the terms were positive, but in this case it will have a alternating plus minus plus minus plus minus and so on. That kind of terms will appear. So that was the major thing to understand over here. Now let's take a problem and try to understand a simple problem to build our understanding first, and then we will in the next video we'll move on to little higher problems. So let's say if somebody has given us to find x plus 5 to the power 4. So how do I find this now quickly, right? So first of all, I know it will be x to the power 4. The second term we will get is x to the power 3 and 4c3 x to the power 5 to the power 1. This is the second term that will appear where x is being collected from 3 factors and 5 is getting collected from just 1 factors, and x can be collected from 3 factors in 4c3 ways, right? Because we have total of 4 factors appearing here. So now the next term will be 4c2 x square 5 square. The next term would be 4c1 x to the power 1 into 5 cube, and the last term would be 4c0 x to the power 0 into 5 to the power 4. Now you can do the simple calculations and get it, like x to the power 4 remains as it is plus 4c3. What is 4c3? 4c3 is nothing but factorial 4 by factorial 3 into factorial 4 minus 3, which is factorial 1. This will give you 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 divided by 3 into 2 into 1, which means it is going to give you 4. So it is 4 and multiplied with 5 it will become 20. So 20 x cube, that will be the second term. Now coming to the next term, 4c2. What is 4c2? 4c2 is nothing but factorial 4 by factorial 2, which means it will be 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 by 2 into 1 into 2 into 1, right? 2 1 2 1 cancels. This will become, it will cancel from 4 to give 2. 2 3s are 6. So it's and 6 and then multiplied with 5 square. 5 square is nothing but 25. 25 into 6 is 150. So it's going to give you 150 x square, right? Now again 4c1, if you calculate, it will come equal to 4c3, because we already know that ncr is nothing but it is equal to ncn minus r. This is an important formula, you can say, and we should remember it. So 4c3 will be equal to 4c1. So it will also give you 20. In case if you don't remember, nothing to worry, you can calculate it also the way that we are doing here. 4c1 is nothing but factorial 4 by factorial 1 into factorial 3. So ultimately you see that you are going to get the same thing, right? So it will be 20, not 20, sorry. So 4 will come as 4c1, and then you are multiplying it with 5 cube, which is nothing but 5 into 5 is 25 into 5 is 125. So 125 into 4, right? 125 into 4, that should give you 500, right? It should give you 500, and 500 multiplied by x, that will be the term 4c1 x to the power 1 5 cube. And then lastly 4c0 is nothing but 4c0 is 1, because as you can see here, 4c0 is equal to factorial 4 by factorial 4 factorial 0. Factorial 0, we know it is by convention it is 1, and factorial 4 factorial 4 cancels out to give 1. So 1 multiplied by 5 to the power 4, right? And that should be equal to 5 to the power 4 is nothing but 625, and then multiplied by 1, which will give you 625. So basically this is your this is your entire expression that you would get, which is x to the power 4 plus 20x cube plus 150x square plus 500x plus 625. So hope you enjoyed this video, and got some understanding of the binomial theorem. Next class we will be doing more problems around it, a little bit more deeper problems, tougher problems around it. So please watch all the parts of this series before the next video, and uh, please subscribe to our channel, please like our channel, share it with your friends, whoever is in need for class 11, 12, JE aspirants, JE mains and advanced both. So keep learning, keep enjoying, and have a great day. Thank you.